got the cabinet here pushed up against the baseboard. Now I left the baseboard. You never want to cut your baseboard to fit in a portable cabinet like this, because if you ever move the cabinet, then you've got to patch your baseboard and everything, okay? So I just pushed it up against the baseboard, and then I measured my gap and made the gap the same all the way up there. And I put a block back in there and mounted it to the wall. So I just made that gap the same. I checked it with a level 2, and it came out pretty good, because you know, you still want to have your cabinet fitting tight to the floor, even if it's not perfectly plumb, you know, straight up and down, because you don't want to get one side off the ground, you know. So I did really good on that. I checked it all, and you've got to find the studs up there. What I ended up doing is I measured the distance from here over, and it was a short 1 inch. What I did is I took a 2x4 and I ripped it down to a short inch, and I made it 35 inches long. This cabinet was 36 inches long, but that way I could have it inset a little bit like that. Now you're always going to see that, but as you're looking straight onto the cabinet, you know, it'll be okay. Nobody's going to say anything about that, okay? Because you gotta do something, and that made it nice and strong. So I put that up in there, and I put some long screws in there into the studs. Now as for this wood here, if that bothers you, you can get some paint that matches your wall, and you can go ahead and paint that edge, that end. Here's inside where that top shelf is. See, I got a screw right in there, and one there, and one over there. And I used 3-inch long sheetrock screws with coarse threads. I found the studs up there and screwed those in. Now that's why I needed a long piece of wood there. I could have used 3 little blocks, one here, one there, one there. But then that has a tendency to kind of move around a little bit, and then you got to mess with 3 little blocks in there, and if one drops down, you know, you got to fish it back up out of there, and then you got a chance of those little blocks splitting. So I just put it up there, and I tapped in 2 small little screws to hold the whole piece in there. Then I measured where the studs were, and I pre-drilled the holes with the little drill bit through the metal into the wood up to the sheetrock. Then I used the long 3-inch screws and rammed them home.